Here we Hi, guys. Welcome back. Holy cow. It's already popping off with Pops. Hi, Pops.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Nah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Pops, first of all, I have to start off by saying, one, I miss you so much already. And two, I'm so sorry we missed last week's of Pops Pops Off.
Hey, you had a lot on your plate. You were moving and you drove a long way, so don't worry about it. As long as they keep wanting to see us. And I'm glad nobody's complaining so far, so I must be doing something right.
Okay. So as long as they keep watching, then we'll keep doing it.
You got it.
All right. And Pops, I did want to say too, this is awesome. And for anybody who's watching who hasn't ever seen us on here, all of the money that we raise on Pops Pops Off, we give 100% back to our veterans. So this is always exciting. It's a way to give back. Pops, the vet himself. And Pops, before we get started, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, I'd like to bring up, I was doing a little research, and what I'd like people to do when they basically have nothing on their plate is Google what the military pay is for a person who first goes in the military. They're considered a private.
Okay.
What do you think their monthly salary is? Now, you're in the military, whether you got kids or not.
I don't even want to shoot.
$1,700 a month.
I was going to say 2,000.
And then you get, if you're in a combat zone, when I was in Vietnam, we got, I believe it was 48 more dollars for being in a combat zone. They get 200 and something now. But I just wanted people to see how they donate years of their life. Usually they enlist for 6 years. That's 6 years of their life at that kind of pay. And they do get some benefits, like if they live on base or once they gain a little more rank. But it kind of blew my mind when I did. I just thought, for the heck of it, I'd see what the average person makes when they go in the military. Anyways, just have them Google it if they will, and you can see what I'm talking about.
Well, I want to say, Pops, guys, 47 in the room. Let's go ahead and hit 50, and then let's hit 100. We've only been on for 2 minutes, so that's awesome. Pops, we got our first super sticker from Jamie supporting our vets, $49.99. Thanks, Jamie.
Oh, thank you, Jamie.
I'm going to leave that one on there because that's awesome. And yes, the military doesn't pay much, and Pops, we appreciate your service, and thank you. I always love starting off with that because I think that's the best way for us to start off. Considering we sit on here for an hour, we have great conversation, we have awesome callers, we talk about the shows that we love to watch, and then we get to give money back to, our vets, people who obviously, like yourself, deserve it and fight for our country.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Who wants to risk their life for $1,700 a month? And when I was drafted, you had no choice. So that's why all your units now, they're true professionals, because they want to be there. They want to do the right thing. And a lot of them came after the Twin Towers went down. But in my own honest opinion, it's time to bring them home. It really is. They got families. They miss children's birthdays. Husband or wife, doesn't matter who's in the military. But I want to thank them personally for what they do.
Well, Pops, I love that. And so, again, thank you to all of our vets. And if you haven't already, guys, please like this video. It helps. And even if you can't donate right now, this is 2020. This is a crazy time. We understand. But if you just press that like button, it gets more eyes. And then there's maybe someone out there who can throw a donation to our vets. So it's always awesome. And thank you, Pops, for starting us off like that.
And don't forget to vote.
Yes,
it's coming.
It's practically here, Pops.
What else did I have? It's still National Hispanic
Month?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I'm not, maybe these notes are too old. I don't know, but we'll still wish them well.
No, listen, we always. And with that being said, Pops, I think we can jump into our topics.
All right, let's go.
All right. So do you want to start with Real Housewives of Orange County?
Yes, I like the new Elizabeth.
I like Elizabeth too.
She's going to bring a lot to that show because she came from nothing and has got something, and she's never lost herself in it. She's down to earth, and whatever she wants to say, she says it.
And you notice that she's already interjecting herself in all the conversations.
Yeah.
Yep. Perlita, thank you so much for the super sticker. We appreciate you. Pops, another super sticker for the vet.
Thank you.
All right. But Elizabeth, you can already tell that she's interjecting, but Pops, obviously everyone's talking about Bronwyn right now. Bronwyn is the main topic because she's facing alcoholism, but also she is being upfront and honest about her modern day marriage.
Well, I kind of got that impression about them actually when they first started showing them on the show, because they took a couple over to they have another house or a condo or something in a different location. They didn't bring the company to their house.
Exactly.
They brought them, and it looked like one of those little sex studios from what I saw. But she's definitely got a lot on her mind, and I think she's between the alcohol and what's been going on, and I noticed the other girls are starting to push her aside already.
Well, Pops, I have a question, and I want to say, Grandma Scary, thank you so much for the super sticker for our vets. I voted already.
Hello, Grandma Scary.
Grandma Scary, call in. We'll listen to you. We want to hear your opinion. But so no, I'm curious, Pops, because as I guess me and my friends, any of us who talk about marriages or the modern day marriage and having a third party enter it, whatever the case is, none of us feel like that could ever necessarily work. But I'm curious, do you feel like an open marriage or a marriage where the couple is, they're swingers, can that work? Does that have longevity?
No, it doesn't. And what happens is sooner or later, one of them is going to click with the new friend that they're being with, and they're going to, especially if they're younger. And I don't think it'll. I imagine there's been a couple that have made it, but I wouldn't think it would last that long.
Me either. Master Blackjack Channel 3, thank you so much for the super sticker, the super chat for our vets. We appreciate it. And
Thank you, Blackjack.
Yeah, Master Blackjack. I will be doing a show with Master Blackjack, hosting on all Master Blackjack channels on Wednesdays with Dr. Kirk Honda, who is also known on YouTube as Psychology in Seattle. A lot of fun. So, Pops, you'll have to check that one too.
Oh, yeah.
And then also Soap Nut Kathy. Thank you so much for the super sticker.
Thank you, Kathy.
We're having a great morning. This is a good start.
Yeah.
We're only 8 minutes in.
Even though you're at your new location.
Yeah, and it's a little strange here, but it's okay. We're getting it together. And my furniture arrives on Monday.
Oh.
Yeah. But I did want to also jump into, Pop, since we're talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County. You said something to me on the phone earlier. You said that you missed Tamra.
Yeah. I think she added spice to the show, and she could argue with somebody and have a feud going for a month or two or three, and then they're all back together again.
Well, Pops, do you know why she's no longer a part of the show, or no?
No.
Okay, so she was offered a friend role, a lesser role, and what the speculation is that Bravo started paying her, each year, if the housewives come on for another year, they get a pay increase, right? And she started hitting where she's getting a 7-figure salary, and she was one of the ones where it's easier to cut her and save, keep the budget down, and then they can come over and bring on Elizabeth Lynn Vargas. Instead of giving Tamra $1 million, they'll give Elizabeth $100,000 just because she gets to be a part of a show.
Yeah.
And boom, they saved almost $1 million.
It's kind of like the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the draft. It's like the housewife draft.
We got to cut, and plus they figure they'll bring in more viewers but don't want to tune in and see the new person.
Exactly.
But if you cut too many people will quit watching it.
Well, see, and yeah, that's true. Well, and also because the dynamic starts to make sense a lot less. So if people, I mean, if nobody really knows what's going on, yeah, then we're not invested. Vicky and Tamra, they're kind of like our OGs, so we were invested in them. Now it seems like Bronwyn is about to kind of take that queen spot, I feel.
You don't think she'll leave the show?
No, Bronwyn's not going to leave. I think I know who her new special friend is, and I honestly, just for anyone who's watching, they can go check out her Instagram, but she's posted photos out there with this woman where they have their hands on each other's knees and they're very like cozy. And this woman she's a DJ. So she originally DJ'd that one scene back when Bronwyn brought everybody back to the SEX. I don't know what I can say here because it's YouTube, but SEX condo, like the Love Shack. Remember when she brought all of the strippers there and then everybody had a good time? Well, there was this woman who is, she likes women, and she was the DJ for that party that night. And then after that, Bronwyn and her became friends, and then so on and so forth. So I'm pretty sure that is the woman who is the new special friend in the relationship. And also, Pops, I just want to say, I could not see her having a relationship or adding a special friend that would be a male. You know what I mean? Like if she's going to, a part of it, have a third party enter into the marriage, there's no way that Sean is going to let it be a male.
Yeah. Well, no, he's all right probably that it's a female.
Right.
That way he shares it, basically, from what I understand. But if it was another guy, then the guy brings jealousy to him.
Right.
How many children do they have?
It's like 7 or 8. I don't even.
That's what I was thinking. They got a large amount of kids.
Right, because Emily and Gina made the joke. They're like, what do they have? Because they have an 8,000 square foot house. They're like, what do they have? 1,000 square foot per each kid? Because remember, Bronwyn was making fun of Gina, the fact that Gina. And I have to say this too, Pops. Actually, before I say anything, I'm curious. What is your opinion? Do you think it makes Bronwyn kind of look like she's tone deaf a little bit when she's sitting there like laughing at the fact that Gina bought a 1,600 square foot condo in Orange County, California?
Yeah, she probably thinks that why is she even on the show? Because she doesn't have that much money, especially Orange County. Orange County's been notorious for all the women except Gretchen before she went with Slade.
Yeah, Gretchen didn't have a whole lot of money.
And what was the other one that went with Slade?
She was literally like season 2.
Yeah, she had no money either.
Oh, we have another super chat. Carmen 24.99. Thank you, Carmen. She said, "Money for our heroes this season. I just haven't gotten into watching OC. Just been watching clips here and there. Hopefully, I'll get into watching the full episodes. Love to you and Pops." Well, thank you, Carmen, and we send love back.
She'll get into it because I can't remember her name right now.
Bronwyn?
No,
Gina. Kelly.
Kelly's always good for another explosion somewhere.
See, and that's the thing is when she pops, I was dying laughing. I was sitting here. I'm still in an airbed. My furniture is not here, but Jason and I were watching The Real Housewives of Orange County. And all of a sudden they open up the episode with Kelly talking about her relationship with Shannon over the years. And you don't realize, but it's so tumultuous. There's so many ups and downs it was insane.
Kind of like when Vicky Gunderson was on the show, and every time you turn around, she was with Gina. Remember Gina?
Yeah.
And that's the first show I got hooked on because you like to side with somebody, or you can relate to somebody, and that's what makes those shows so good. And I happened to watch the preview of that one for Utah.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good show.
Pops, there's one of the wives married her ex-step-grandfather.
Oh, my God. Which one was that?
It was the one. I gave her the wrong title. I'm not going to butcher myself and make myself look like a fool on here. I gave her the wrong title because Jason, of course, I don't know if you know this, Pops, but Jason comes from a Mormon background. So we're super excited to cover this together because he understands a lot of like where some of these women are coming from and what goes behind the religion. And to me, it's like outer space, only because I didn't really grow up in a super religious household, especially I'm not Mormon. So, I'm interested. I just don't want to be ignorant.
Well, it's going to be a good show.
Yeah,
From
I
what
think
I saw.
we have Pops. What do you think about bringing up somebody to chime in on this?
Go ahead.
Okay, so guys, 162 in the room. If you haven't already, make sure you hit like. Thank you guys so much. 100% of today's proceeds go to our vets. So even if you can't donate, it's okay. We love having you guys here. Call in and just hit that like button because that's enough. Okay.
As long as you think of them, that's all I care about.
Exactly.
Hey, Dana.
Hi, Dana.
Hey, Adam. Hey, Pops.
All right.
You're
Dana,
as pretty as ever.
Wow. Pops is such a flirt, Dana.
I
How-
calls them as I see them.
Okay.
How are you doing, Pops? Thank
I'm
you.
doing a lot better. I did have a reaction like a dummy. I went yesterday and had a flu shot and a pneumonia shot. Oh my God, worst night of my life.
I told Pops, I said we didn't have to do today. We could push it off to tomorrow.
Well, you know what? I start looking forward to doing this because I feel like you and Grandma Scary and everything are like kind of like family to me now.
Oh,
And Hermie and
my mom got the stronger flu shot, and she was literally crawling on the floor. It
Oh.
affected her so harshly, and
there's something different.
so she won't get the stronger one anymore. That's made for the elderly, because she thought she was going to die.
Oh my gosh.
I thought when I was in Vietnam, I got malaria. And I thought I was having malaria again because you get really hot and sweaty and then you're freezing. And I thought, my God, is this ever going to get any better? So I had to cancel that day, remember? No, because we had canceled because you were moving. I didn't want to go 2 weeks without talking.
Oh,
Well, Pops, we love you for that.
Well, I love all you guys too. Thanks for calling in, Dana, and talking to us.
oh, no problem. I just don't want to get on anybody's nerves.
No
Oh,
way.
no.
Dana, it has to be Orange County. So today we're covering, and you can, by all means, I'm just going to give you the pick of the litter. So today we're going to be talking about Orange County, The Other Way, the end of Darcy and Stacey, because I think Pops also agrees that engagement was a little bit of a sham trying to lead into a second season. And then, of course, Family Chantel.
Yeah, I haven't watched a lot about Family Chantel. I mean, I've only hit excerpts of that. And Darcy and Stacey, it may make it for a little while. I don't know.
Did you watch 90 Days
Yes, I did.
Together?
Mm-hmm.
What did you laugh when he wanted to see her anal? Did you see that part?
Yeah.
Because she said, "Why don't you buy a bidet?" She goes, "They're $600." And he goes, "Well, you have a dirty anal."
Yeah.
God.
And I laughed so hard, and he was dead serious. He goes, "You have dirty anal."
Oh my gosh.
He's got a website up now called MAC that stands for My Anal Clean.
No.
Oh, see, we learned something.
Dana, how do you know that?
And he didn't even want me to bring this up.
Because I found it.
Oh my gosh.
MAC, Ji Hoon Lee, My Anal Clean. That's Mac.
But they're not together anymore, right?
No.
They're not together. She was allegedly with Ji-hoon 2.0 is what they were calling him, which is actually kind of disrespectful just because they look alike. I don't know if you can really say Ji-hoon 2.0, but Dana, did he invent something new? Is it his own line of bidets? Is it how?
No, he just, because everyone was talking about that saying.
Oh, so it's just he made a website just in honor of the saying?
Yeah, because there were memes about it and everyone thought it was so funny, that scene.
Oh my God.
So he grabbed it and took it as, using it for his website. And now he's running with it.
Well, Rose Rodriguez said he is nasty to even say that. And then Sheila said, no talk, please. And Pat said, oh, yeah, she got the fever the next day. A lot of people say that.
Well, he just used it for the website name, but he's got things like where he's painting his son. And then one video, he did this whole thing about talking about when he was in the military and telling stories, but he had all these people telling him, oh, thank you for your service and all this other stuff. But what they don't realize is every boy that is in Korea, the minute they get out of high school, they automatically go in the military for at least 2 years or more.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Unless they are in a movie making business or some form of entertainment where it could harm them, they absolutely have to spend so much time in the military. Most of them do not serve in any, outlandish capacity, but they have to automatically go in.
I didn't know that either.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's because all our soldiers are over there.
Well, let's bring up another caller with us, Dana and Pops, as long as we don't get any flack. Actually, I do want to say 2 things really quick. One, Dana, I saw your comment today on my YouTube Studio app where it said that you saw how everybody kind of engages and how they were talking about you. And I love that there were so many awesome comments and people love you. So I thought that was awesome.
Well, I didn't put the engage. I just said I appreciate the sweet comments, and
Yeah. But you know what? That's why I brought it up to you, is because I filter through all the time and I'll see them, and Jason looks at them too. And I see Dana, Jamal, especially because we're building a little community on here. And when we have a few callers that we see more often than not, then it seems like a little family. So I just want to say, Dana, thank you.
oh, thank you very much. I just didn't want somebody to think, oh boy, she's got an ego to go back and say something.
No, you're the average rational person. And that's why we like you on. Adam does not want any smut or, calling people names.
He's not wrong.
No, he just wants where people can talk to one another, and everybody's going to have different opinions.
Yeah.
You know that.
See,
Yeah.
and I think this is a good example of this, because I'm going to switch the topic really quick, and it can get so dirty so fast. And this is an example of the kind of space that I feel like we've created where it doesn't need to be that. I just want to, like when I did my live with Dr. Kirk Honda, I'm learning that I more so want to understand where people are coming from and why they choose to be the way they are or do certain things, as opposed to jumping on the bandwagon and just trashing the people, because that's the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So now with switching that over, I'm going to add one more person to the call. But before I do, I wanted to bring back up the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. They're coming out for the first time. This is the big premiere, and there's a lot of talk about them. So a lot of people were not interested in the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because they think that they're really pushing for religion and Mormon, and that being a huge part of the storylines. But I think that there's so much more as far as like dimensions to this franchise. And then we find out that one of the housewives married her former step-grandfather. Now, a lot of people, and she's the head of her, I don't want to butcher this and sound ignorant. I want to say she's the head of her church. So a lot of people are going to immediately rip her apart for this. But Dana, I'm curious, what is the first thing that comes to mind for you when you hear that somebody has married their ex-step-grandfather?
Well, I mean, I think it's out of the norm, definitely. I'm thankful that it's not her grandfather.
Okay.
I mean, he's not in her bloodline. I don't want to be judgmental. I don't know the circumstances behind it. We don't know how long he was her step-grandfather.
Right.
Which step-grandfather? What number step-grandfather was he?
And did you have a grandmother who liked a lot younger guys, and maybe was this guy closer to, your granddaughter's age, and then maybe that made more sense, and they were only married for like a month? Like, it just sounds maybe.
It sounds bad.
Yeah, it sounds bad, but is it?
I don't know the backstory.
Exactly. Okay. And
So
Pops?
I can't really, call in on it.
That's fair. Pops, what do you think about that?
Well, if it is a step, that community, my first wife was Mormon, and they were very close-knit. They, you donate 10% of your income to the church automatically.
Right.
But if you want to buy a house or you need money, they take care of each other. As long as they're not related by blood or anything, I hope they're happy.
Actually, I know that Jason's watching this right now because he always moderates for me on the chat. So hi, Jason. But no, I do want to say Jason's family, obviously, he comes from a Mormon background, and there was a big part of their lives where they put in so much money into the church. And then a time came where Jason's dad fell ill and, came down with cancer. And the church really, like Jason will say that to this day, he's like, they really helped my family get through this, because even though you give to the church the 10% or whatever the case is, as soon as you need something back, they're right there for you.
Oh,
So
they are, believe me.
that's good to know.
It would bother me now if she was a little girl and he acted as a grandfather figure in her
And then
life.
married her.
Yeah, that would bother me.
That could be a little okay. Let's bring up our few callers. Hi, Lady O.
Hey,
Hi,
Lady O.
guys. How are you? Hey, Tina. Hey, everyone.
Hey,
Hi.
How's it going? Hey, Adam, I just want to second you when I love the people in your chat. We do have like our own little family, Dana, and I have two adoptive moms, Dorit and Hermione. It's just like, we all have different opinions, different perspectives from
But
different
it's like a
cultures, but
safe zone.
we love each other. Like, we can disagree, and then the next chat we're just like, hey, I missed you. How was your day? So
yeah.
Lady O, I saw you
Yeah.
on the you were calling on another show. Was it
Really?
Yeah, was it?
It must have been Perry Sanders' show, maybe, or Gio.
Because it said Lady O.
Yeah, it probably was. We
And
Lady O,
have like a little community.
yeah.
I think it was Andy Cohen.
No, that wasn't me. I'm not that lucky. Somebody told me that too. Pamela in the chat told me that. That must have been a different Lady O, because she said, Kalini read one of your questions on 90 Day Strikes Back. And I said, unless they picked it out of the comments and YouTube, I never, logged in. So it must be another one.
Lady O, after this, we're gonna get down to the bottom of it of this, because if somebody's impersonating you, we'll take them out. No.
Well, I'm kind of a very original. It could be bad or good, so I doubt that.
I can't remember the show, but I remember they flashed your picture and the name on the bottom of Lady O.
Oh, interesting.
But not this Lady O, Pops. Not today.
No.
So, guys, I wanted to chime in
All right.
about Mary, whoever Crosby, the
Crosby,
housewife for Salt Lake City that you guys are referring to. So I have a little bit of insight and background if you like.
Yes. Go for it.
Okay. So I watched an interview that her cousin, her relative, gave. And so here's the background. She's not Mormon. She's Christian, Pentecostal. If you know anything about them, they're in the Caribbean, at least, they're very, very spiritual, like Holy Ghost and all that. So what happened is her grandmother, Rosalind, was living in like a Midwestern state. And she said she had a dream that God gave her to go and travel and spread the word. So essentially a evangelist. So she traveled and ended up in Utah. And then she opened a church. She was spreading the word. As her church began to grow, she started telling her members and congregation, hey, she started promoting entrepreneurship. Is that a word?
Yeah.
So basically, sorry, I get nervous when I call in.
No, hey, Video, we'll keep you around.
I love you guys. So basically, she ended up investing in different businesses outside the church and having people within the church running those businesses and partnering with her congregation and really building a name for herself, and really made a lot of money opening other churches, having affiliate businesses that partnered with the church. And that went to her daughter. So her daughter married the pastor who's that step-grandfather, who is the mother of the lady Crosby. So basically, it was like she's the third generation, and that when the lady's mom died, the inheritance was left to the grandfather, her husband, her ex-husband. And they were saying that the lady on the show, I'll just call her Crosby since I can't remember her name. I don't want to misquote. She started comforting her grandfather, and people around the church started whispering, and they were saying, "Oh no, it's nothing to worry about. She's just helping me go through the grieving process." And so like a year later, they got married. So the cousins are saying that now the inheritance is in her name because she married the step grandfather, and that was pretty much what her goal was the entire time.
Oh my
Whoa.
gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, Salt
Yes.
Lake City is about to be great. And
I
I don't know, Lady O, do you know who Unwind with Tasha K is?
Yeah, that's where I saw the interview. That was it.
Did you send that to me on Instagram?
I think I did. I think I did.
Okay, so I actually talked with Tasha, and we're gonna go on, and one of these days next week, we're gonna talk about it. So keep an eye out, because Tasha K, I asked her, I said, you want to just, talk some crap about this stuff, like just throw it around? And she's like, yeah, I'm there. And I said, okay, great.
Okay, be careful with her. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, but you'll do fine because you're positive and you have all these great energy. So
Oh yeah,
it'll
and
be
I always
great.
do. I always make sure before I go on with anybody, I always just make sure I let everybody know where I stand. And if people are not comfortable coming on and keeping it clean, it's okay. Then they just, there's other platforms, and we don't have to do it together. It's not the end of the world.
Lady O's become our little 411.
Yeah, she has. Hermione, thank you for the super sticker. We appreciate you.
Hermione.
Love you, Hermione.
All
But
right.
yeah, I think it's really interesting. But I do like Family Chantel. I've always watched Familia de Chantel. They're a trip, but
they're gonna get rowdy.
I know. I just think the season is a little produced because don't you feel like, okay, if it happens to one of your children, they find someone who needs a visa, that's pretty standard over here, right? But to have 3 of your kids out of 4, have 3 of the 4 of your kids find someone overseas and need the same visa, it just seems a little like the mom maybe have been fishing for a storyline or pushing the kids to kind of produce some storylines. It doesn't seem too genuine.
Dana, what do you and Lady O feel about that? The twins, Darcy and Lacey, or
Stacy? No,
Stacey.
you're gonna say that's how relevant, Pops. That's exactly probably what they think of them.
I
I
paid more attention trying to decide who was who than get into anybody.
No, that was so pre-produced. That the engagement at the end was just securing. She looked at him and she's like, "Hey, dude, you have nothing going on. I have nothing going on. You better propose to me so we at least secure a second season. That way you can get some more money."
I think I was starting to count their moles just to see who was who, because I could not tell.
I agree with you, Adam. It's just too much. And I saw from somebody had leaked, one of her friends, that she kind of pushed him and forced him to propose, and that maybe Florian actually also kind of coaxed him into saying, well, why don't you just propose to get her off your back? I don't know. It just seems like they're fishing for a storyline here.
Yeah, they're definitely fit. I mean, what else do they have going on? House of 11 is that's not securing any money. Obviously, they're not going to Los Angeles. They live in their dad's home. Pops, please take this away.
Where did he get the money to buy the rings?
From Darcy.
Say it again, Dana. Say it again.
I thought the ring was too small. I don't think think Darcy would have bought that ring, because when she looked at it, she was like, And I'm like, oh, that's not. And even Jason said, he's like, it's not big enough.
It's COVID.
Could you imagine if
We're
you
in
had
COVID.
what you'd have to keep buying them all through the marriage?
No.
Imagine.
They want everything.
Let's
Maybe
try.
he gave her the check and then he bought the ring with like half of the money she gave him for it. And that's why she was disappointed.
Thank you so much, Josie Alvarado. This is for Pops. Love him. Thank you, Josie. This is going to our vets, and we love
you.
And then also, as long as we don't get any flack, I'm going to bring on another caller.
Okay.
Hi, RT.
Hi, morning from Sydney, Australia.
Oh,
Wow.
love it.
Wait, RT, stay on with us. As long as we don't get flack, I'm going to bring up another caller just so we can all be on. And if we can't, then I'll just drop somebody.
Put another shrimp on the Barbie for me.
They're technically prawns over here.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right. So I think we should start with RT, because I know that we've had you in the room for a second, and then we'll go to Kim, and then we'll just go back around the room. But RT,
Yeah.
What did you want to call in
I was
on?
going to say, with that, following on from Darcy and Stacey, I must admit, I don't get any of the channels here in Australia, so I have to wait till they get uploaded on YouTube. But I actually watch you, Adam, first, and then if from your reviews and your comments, if it's worth searching for, then I'll go back and bother watching Darcy and Stacey.
Aw.
Because I must admit, I did the first episode and I went, I'm just kind of wasting my time and my sleep by getting up and watching this.
Oh,
So I'll watch you first and then decide. And then
Archie, I'll keep you around.
thank you. And then following up from what Dana said about the Koreans going to military service, yeah, I am actually quite surprised that military service didn't kick Ji-hoon into gear. I actually teach a lot of Korean boys who avoid going to military service and come to Australia to study, and then eventually go back to do their military service. And again, usually I get Korea's rejects who can't cope, and that's why they're avoiding military service. But the military service really does seem to kick him into gear. So I am surprised that hasn't kind of shaped him up a bit either.
So did you watch the Married at First Sight, the Australian version?
I watched, I think, one episode and then I cringed, and so I stopped.
Oh,
Yeah, I
well,
didn't do any
if
reviews
you
of that.
if you run into my friend Hannah, tell her I said hi.
I will.
They're going to try to destroy her this coming Monday on
No,
on
actually,
the reunion.
Pops, we have to jump in on that too. I wanted to add that in really quick, but let's let Kim go in, and then we're going to talk about Hannah on Below Deck, because the fact that they blasted out that she lied about the pin, I love Hannah, but this was just such a mortifying moment for her. Kim, hi.
Hey, Pops, I'm glad to get to talk to you. I just want to tell you I love you.
Well, thank you very much. I love your accent already.
Oh, really? My accent and my allergies?
Oh, you got them too?
Oh, look, well, I'm down southeast Alabama, and they're plowing peanuts, and it's horrible.
You're in
Everybody
Alabama,
here. I'm in Alabama. Hey, Dana.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Did you get your move done, Adam?
I did. Thank you for asking, Kim. Well, kind of, Kim. Yes and no. I have the movers coming on Monday with all of my furniture. Comcast delivered my Wi-Fi, then they delivered it the wrong way, so then they came back a second time, and then I noticed that all of my equipment is broken, so now they're coming back on Friday.
Oh, man.
My carpet cleaners canceled twice, and my flooring people never showed up, so we're getting through it. But
plus a flat tire and a broken windshield.
oh, and I got 2 flat tires, 1 broken windshield, and a broken taillight. But yes, we are here. It's okay.
Why?
No. It's so easy
You
to be
made
negative.
it safe.
Not
You're
safe.
safe. You're not broken.
My mom made it super healthy over with me. My animals made it, so that's exciting.
That's what I was going to
Fiance
say. Your
made it.
animals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we're
I
good.
saw the picture of them on the beach. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're safe at least.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll just keep you in prayer for the rest of it.
You know, I had a psychic that came on, and actually, she did my tarot card, and I had Fem Tarot come on, and she said the same thing that actually another psychic said to me, that October was just going to be a month of just trials and ups and downs, but November is going to be fantastic. So I looked at my fiance yesterday, and we were sitting on the beach and just kind of digesting and just like taking it all in. And I said to him, I said, you know what? All of these little things that keep adding up, if we have all of these little things but good in November, we're going to have the best month of our lives. So
That's right.
yeah, it's just
We've got
it's
6 weeks left to survive.
Yeah.
It will be over.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to do awesome.
Thank
I
you.
was going to talk about Darcy and Stacey too,
All right.
and that. Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to say.
It's like watching
I
paint
hope her
dry.
daughters have more sense. I hope they get their sense from their daddy, because they sure didn't get any from her.
Oof.
But that is just sad.
Isn't it like watching paint dry, Kim?
I know, right?
Yeah.
I think the worst part of that is just, there's 2 things. One, it's awful because I've even mentioned this to Dana before, but just the fact that these girls still have to go to a school, they're now a part of the TV show too. So sure, it might be cool for them. They might get some notoriety or some social media followers or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, everybody in their school, when they go back, they're going to talk about the fact that their mom is pulling up this man's like sheet over his private
Mhm.
part saying like, oh, how could I go on without that? And these are just embarrassing moments that would be absolutely mortifying. If you ever caught my mom or dad on tape doing that, and then everybody in my school knew, I would not want to go back to it.
I know I wouldn't either. The only parent that has any sense out of all of that, and this is just from another article I read, is Stacy's ex-husband, who refused to let their children on
Yeah.
TV.
Agreed.
He wasn't going to let them on there and be in that spotlight. And
Yeah.
I think somebody should have stood up for Darcy's children, because that's if my mama did that, oh my goodness, I couldn't even imagine.
Look,
Right.
I didn't want to even hear about my parents doing it at all.
Right.
But
I
I think just to play devil's advocate, though, really quick, I feel like, and Lady O, I'm curious your opinion on this, but I feel like what Darcy, I think, is neglecting the fact that she might be embarrassing her daughters, because she also is acknowledging the fact that she might be setting her daughters up for some sort of success, right? Like Darcy knows that right now she gets brand ambassador opportunities, whether it's like that detox tea or this new curling iron where she got $1,500 to post an ad, or whatever the case is. When she puts her daughters in front of the camera, they now get this notoriety and they become figures on social media. So then essentially they're making their own money at the end of the day too. And maybe Darcy is ignoring the fact that she is embarrassing them in order to set them up for their future, maybe?
But you know,
I'm
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You can go ahead, Dana. I'll
Hey,
follow up with you.
You go ahead.
Well, I just want to say I'm not a mom, but I would have to say that is not a mature way to think about it. I think exposing your children at such an impressionable age, they seem to be teens and preteens, is making it's just one of those ages where being acceptable and popularity is important to children, and in that age 13 to 16, and it does a lot of trauma and damage. So I think she's hurting them more than she's helping them.
I
think
agree.
the best thing that she could do for them as their mother is to be a protector, and that's her role. You can provide for your kids without exploiting them in the public, and I think if she wanted to show them once or twice during the season is fine, but putting them out there and trying to get them endorsements, they need to be at least 18, because they're going to be bullied.
Do you want to see an example of what you just said? Watch Tardy for the Party.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Those girls, they never had any childhood. Everything's about their look, and I hope that's not the way they are in real life, because they're acting like
that's exactly how they are in real life.
because they're dumber than rocks.
Okay, Pops.
Our educational system, our
No filter
educational
but the
system's
truth.
not working right. I mean, did you watch it? Where they go into
I do, Pops, and I agree with you, because Brielle is gorgeous. She didn't need all that plastic surgery. She was drop dead gorgeous. What she needed was to further her education. Instead, she's on Instagram every 2 seconds with her lips plumped up, her butt's plumped up, her tits pumped up. She could have been a doctor by now. All the money and endorsements she has.
She's looking for a millionaire.
She is, and she's following after her mother's footsteps, and that's what, as a girl, even though I don't have children, I have a mother, and guess what? Children live what they learn.
Yeah.
So when your parents are your example, and that's your first bond in life, you're gonna either want to be just like them, or inevitably just become exactly like them. So it would be
the last I heard, when he married her, he gave up his mother and father too, because they made some comment about her when he married her.
Yes.
And maybe it's changed. Maybe Adam can check on that through his connections, because they did everything for him. They helped him get his career in football, because
he's a humble good guy. He is. He's a solid dude.
And he's got the patience, man, of nobody I'd ever.
I agree.
Pops, I want to say, oh, sorry, Lady O, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, Pops, somebody asked you, well, it's not somebody, it's a special somebody, Grandma Scary. Pops, do we get to see the whole tattoo if we reach $200 in donations on a video? New fan rule. I think they're talking about, I'm not going to say her name, Pops, and you can't show it because now Grandma Scary is giving some incentive here. But I think, I'm not going to say her name, but your ex-wife's tattoo is what we're talking about.
Well, I've got several.
Whoa, Pop.
Lucky lady.
Wow.
Woo.
Oh my gosh.
I got one on the left arm of an Indian.
You can't tell what they are.
Yeah, you can't tell us what they are. Save them.
Oh,
We're going to reveal them. All right.
okay.
RT, you've been so quiet this whole time, and I do want to say we have 45 minutes on the clock. We're going to start kind of wrapping it up and saying our final things. But RT, you started off, and then we kind of went ghost on you. What do you feel about what's going on in the conversation, at least?
Well, I must admit, some of the shows I don't have time to watch, but I just enjoy listening to all you guys. It's a definitely different perspective. Working with teenagers myself, I was just thinking about Darcy and Stacey's daughter. Yeah, again, to play devil's advocate, it could go either way because the mothers do behave very much like teenagers themselves.
Mhm.
So even though the girls could be getting embarrassed at the same time, they could be getting a lot of thumbs up from social media and from the kids at school going, oh, your mum's so cool, I wish my mum was like that. But
Or on TV.
yeah, or on TV as well. And we don't know, maybe she did have the discussion with the girls and the girls gave their consent to be on TV. So
You
they
gotta watch Southern
Yeah.
Charm.
Southern
You'll
Charm.
love it.
I don't know if I could get it.
Oh,
I
Hermione,
get a lot of things over here.
I will pay to see, Hermione said. I do want to say, gosh, Hermione, I want to piggyback off what you're saying really quick,
I love her.
because I can see, obviously, Darcy, respectfully, please, this is total out of respect because she is my elder and she's a woman and I wouldn't say anything disrespectful about her. So I want to point out the fact that maybe we've seen her on so many seasons of different franchises where she's just constantly making these poor decisions. Could it be her watching something like Keeping Up with the Kardashians where she sees a Kendall or a Kylie have come up as a billionaire or a millionaire out of having this notoriety at such a young age and being able to monetize off of that she thinks, oh, maybe Aniko and Aspen have the same opportunities?
No,
Very possibly.
selfishness.
Wait. I had two answers. Who said very possibly?
Oh, RT said very possibly.
RT?
Yeah, I said very possibly.
And Lady O, you said no?
No, selfishness. I think I sent you on Instagram that they had a pilot of a reality TV show 10 years ago. The same kind of idea, except for they were both married at this time. They have always wanted to be in the spotlight. This is based off of insecurity and self-centeredness. They are not thinking about the well-being of their children. And I agree with Kim. The father of those two beautiful girls should have stepped in and said, you know what, you're an adult. If you want to do this, you go ahead and do it. But, wait till our children are 18 and they can sign up a contract with the network and then let them decide, in my opinion.
Right. And then they're putting themselves out there. You say for an Adam, we're going to kind of go back and forth right here for a minute. But they're saying, oh, good, your mom's on TV and all this. But what about the boys that are looking at them saying, your mom's loose, your aunt's loose?
That was my point. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
and they were going to take
Him.
advantage of them.
No,
I
and
agree.
Dana said that too. When I remember when Dana came on to one of our lives, and she said, well, what if kids in their schools perceive them as being, let's use the term, and I hate this term, but maybe easier to get to,
Right.
As opposed to somebody else, just because they're watching how aggressive their parents are for attention, or their mom is for attention on national television. That could definitely be true. If they watched their mom hooking up with these different guys, then yeah, guys in high school might think, oh, they're just like their mom. You never know, because unfortunately the human brain, it goes a million different directions and we all don't think similar. And some of us do have those dirty, nasty minds, and it probably very much so exists. Just like
I wouldn't want their lives, would you?
No.
I
No.
wouldn't want it.
no.
Well, look, not just that. Okay, I have a teenage daughter, and my two nieces have just become, well, one's 12 and one has just become a teenager. Well, let me tell you, they're gorgeous, all of them. And I noticed on my young teenage, just now teenage, okay, she doesn't have that many pictures, but she's got 3,000 followers.
Oh my God.
I went down her list just because I'm an overprotective bear. You know how many men I found on her list?
Probably a lot.
That
No.
I went in their messenger and I said, get off. And I said, either said my niece or my daughter's IG right now.
I
That's
told my
right.
granddaughter that. I said, number one, you don't even know if that's a boy or an adult. You don't know if it's a man or a woman. And all they got to do is talk you in. They'll just like anybody else, they'll groom you and then have you go meet them somewhere, even in the front of your house. And there's
Well,
been
I went
girls
through that
taken.
with my daughter.
Or they'll say, why don't you do a they'll say they want to do a collab with you on jewelry.
Oh, wait, I have two stories for all of you guys really quick, and I'm going to be super quick because we have another person in the room who wants to say a special hello before we go. And I want to say thank you, Skibo G, for the vets and the tap.
Thank you very much.
Pops, next time when you come on, you have to wear your tank top. That way you can give us tap, because I think we hit our $200 in donations. And guys, 276 in the room. So if you
Let me
haven't
ask
already,
you.
please
Let me
like
ask you a
the video.
question. Why is it only an hour? Can't we stay on longer?
I know. Well, it's
Or
an
you want to get rid of me?
No, it's an algorithm thing. It's not me. I promise, Pops. I'll actually, you know what? I love this. So I'll bring you on 2 times a week. Don't tip me with a good time.
No, I'm not.
And then second thing I wanted to say really quick is my dad sat in front of a computer one day with my cousin. She was sitting there and she was talking to this guy, and she's like, "Oh my God, my dad is Derek. So Uncle Derek, this guy is so hot. He's so good looking." And Dad said, "Oh, tell him that your hot sister is sitting right next to you and she thinks he's cute." And she's like, "Okay." So she goes, "My sister's sitting right next to me and she agrees that you're cute." And then he said, "Haha, thanks, winky face." And then my cousin looks back at my dad and she's like, "Oh my God, he actually thinks that you're my sister." And my dad said, "Yeah, and you actually think that he's a 20-something-year-old guy. Get off the internet."
I love it.
And then there was a second time. Oh, Tracy, I would love this twice a week. Thank you, Tracy Chappelle. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
But then there was a second time where I came home from I was working in Los Angeles, and I had a roommate who lived with me. She was one of my best friends from Florida at the time, and I come home and she wanted to be a model, and her head was not in the right place. We were 19, 20, and she found a guy on Craigslist who said he was a photographer. So I walk in and she's doing a full lingerie shoot in my bedroom with this guy that she met on Craigslist who claims he's a photographer who just happens to have a nice set of equipment. And I flipped my lid because I'm like, "You don't know this guy." She's like, "I met him on the internet. He has a camera." I'm like, "Right. What is that? That means nothing."
There was a serial killer in LA that was doing that, remember? When he said he was a photographer and doing photo shoots for their resumes.
When you have people who are so, just like my dad tried to prove the point to my cousin, and just like I kind of got frustrated with my roommate, my best friend at the time, it's just kind of like where is your head right now? The world is not, it's a beautiful place, but it's a dangerous place. So you just have to keep, like, if you're not going to worry or watch out for anybody else, watch out for yourself and at least take care of yourself, because like I don't go through, and maybe I do, but I just feel like I don't go through with like blinders and not being aware of everything that's going on. If I immediately have some sort of kind of intuition or something doesn't feel right, I'm always like, "Nope, I'm out of here. It's not right."
I have 2 words. Chris Hansen. Remember How to Catch a Predator?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's like over there for you guys in America, but here in Australia, I'm a high school teacher, so cyber safety and digital thumbprints and all that kind of stuff are a big part of our curriculum. So we're trying to raise the next generation to be aware of those things. But I totally agree. I have students who will be Facebooking live complete strangers from Jamaica and so forth, and they're like 13, 14, and suddenly they're talking to a 20-something-year-old man from overseas that have come out of nowhere, and I've had to jump in the conversations and go, I'll have your ass arrested by somebody in Jamaica. Get off the phone now.
Well, there's a lot of young girls and young boys that are just disappearing because of the child trafficking.
Especially in Atlanta.
And that's true. And also in Vegas. Amanda from Australia, A. Hardy, Amanda from Australia. I'm in law enforcement. This is such an important message. Well done. Well, thank you, Amanda. Yeah, I think it's important. I've had friends who have, I had one friend, actually Jason is watching this right now and he'll laugh. We knew somebody who we used to jokingly call her Tinderella because she was always on Tinder, and she had her same two spots every Monday and Friday, and she would go on dates, and she would always show up at the same spot we would, with a new date. And she would bring a chess set. They would play chess. It was a whole date. They would drink wine, have a cheese plate and everything. And everybody in the restaurant started calling her Tinderella. And then all of a sudden we started not seeing her. And I'm like, oh no, what happened to this poor girl? Either she landed a man or it was the wrong guy. And it was a joke at the time, but you think about it and you really don't know who you're talking to. So it's just,
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Let's see if any of them can guess what I used to do for a living. Have you ever told them?
no, I haven't. Actually,
You're a private eye.
no. Okay, Dana, that's your guess, Lady O.
I was gonna say detective.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go with narco detective.
Narcos detective. RT.
Military police?
Okay. Kim.
I was going to say detective.
Pops.
Well, I was a detective. I was a motorcycle officer. I was a narcotics officer.
Hey!
Yeah, look at you guys. Wow.
Where's mine?
We're in tune.
I'm just going to jump in. My toddler's awake, so it was lovely to talk to you all, and
Oh.
I've got to go.
RT, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you.
And thank you for
Bye,
what you do.
RT.
All right. Bye, RT.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
teaching is a very important job that's
Yeah.
underrated.
Of course. And Lady O, and also guys, we're about to end our last 3 minutes, but before we go, I can't do it without saying goodbye with hi, Hermione.
Hermione,
Hey, Hermione.
everyone. How are you doing?
you want to see my tattoo?
Whoa.
Of course.
Pop, you're
Oh.
saving it for next Friday.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
I thought it
Private
was
chat,
today.
Pop.
Someone
She thought
said,
it was today.
Tracy Chappelle said super cop.
Oh, you're
Oh.
a sweetheart. Thank you very, very much.
Oh,
I
All right,
appreciate that.
Hermione, just to help us end off our day, I'm sorry. I happened to see while Pops was talking in the messages, and they're like, let Hermione in. And I was like, oh my gosh, no. So Hermione, and I redropped the link, but you're already in the room. So I'm sorry that we missed part of the conversation, but can you at least tell us what the favorite part of it was? And then we'll go from there and end us off.
Okay, I'm sure you're not going to like it, but my favorite part was Darcy and Stacy.
Okay.
Oh,
I
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
I really hope they get a second season. Everyone's talking about them because they bring drama. It's not like no one's talking about them, so I really do enjoy them.
That's okay, Hermione. That's a fair perspective too, because again, it goes back to that just like old school saying, like whether you love them or you hate them, you're still talking about them. And right now, that's exactly, they're not even on. I said we're done with them. I said bye to Darcy and Stacy, and here we are still talking.
And they canceled my favorite documentary, The Last Alaskans, but they'll give them another year on Darcy and Starcy or Lacey or whatever it is.
Yeah, Pops, I don't even think you care what their names are. That's how bad that is. That's awful. Oh, I want to say, Nat R, $5, awesome Pops, a real life superhero. Thank you, Nat.
Thank you very, very much.
And then Miss Manda said, Adam, is Pop single? Well,
Yeah. Yes, I am.
I thought he wasn't.
Not anymore.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
I'll
Really?
fight for your man, Hermione.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Guys, we're on 59 minutes, so you can either take the $59 or go on a second date with me. I'm just kidding. But before we go, I'm going to start with Dana, and then I'm going to go Lady O, Kim, Hermione, and then I'm going to end with Pops. I want to do ladies first, but let's just talk about whether it doesn't matter any topic. What are we looking forward to from our favorite shows next week?
I'm waiting for Southern Charm.
Okay, Southern Charm. So is Pops. And Jason and I are going to catch up this whole week because I'm covering Southern Charm. Okay. Lady O?
I'm gonna say I want to see the next part of Potomac, and I can't wait for Salt Lake City. Everything else I'm not a fan of right now.
Oh,
I
yes,
can't
Salt
wait for
Lake.
Salt Lake City either.
That too.
Lady O, you got to watch Southern Comfort.
Really?
Southern Charm. We're in your head right now, Pops.
You want some whiskey?
Yeah,
It's
you
5
want some
o'clock here in New York, so maybe I'll take a shot.
Pops is at happy hour right now. Wow. Grandma Scary said Pops and Hermione could do 90 Day Fiance. Just saying. Okay.
Good one.
Grandma Scary. Oh gosh, you guys are going to be casted. Okay, Kim.
Perfect.
I'm waiting to see if Darcy breaks up this next episode. She runs this one off too.
Well, no, that was the finale. So now she's engaged.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the finale. So now I think all of our biggest questions are, was her getting engaged as a part of the finale kind of her securing next season, which obviously from a production standpoint, we know that's, when you deliver a final episode, it has to have the best ratings because you have to secure that next year's spot. Just to kind of give you a little bit of tidbit, and I'm going over time, but it's totally okay. It's just a kind of a fun, my own thing. But I was working behind the scenes, close to a Bravo show, and I was there when they were filming a finale episode, and they were having this big finale night party, and the boss, the main person who everybody knows, came out and started smoking a cigarette and was like, "Oh, I don't know what we're going to do. We're not going to have a finale. We're not going to have the ratings. It's not going to get picked up again." And in my head, I was like, wow, this is how this really works. But mind you, I was 20 years old. I came from Tennessee, never seen any of this, Tennessee and Florida, and I was so intrigued. But now knowing what I know, I watched this and I'm like, oh, Darcy and Stacey were like, no, we got to secure the second season. You better propose or your butt is gone.
yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
I do miss Vanderpump Rules.
Whoa, Pops. What are you talking about?
You don't miss
Hermione?
that show?
I don't watch that show.
Yeah, you watched it.
Okay. Hermione, do you...
It's telling your secrets.
Let's go into 2 hours on this.
No.
I used to have the crush on Stassi.
Pops is so funny. He's just like, a lot of times too, he asks me, he's like, can I say this? And I'm like, yeah, you can say this, or no, you can't say it. And then he's like, yeah, you're a funny guy. I'll keep you around.
I love it this way because it's like a family talking, and you don't have to get gross. You don't have to get mean. You don't have to punish anybody.
Yeah, it's like a big panel. All right.
It's true.
I look
I
forward
love
to
that
seeing
nobody
all of
argues.
Yeah, me too. Hermione?
I'm looking forward to Family Chantal, the next episode.
Okay.
It's starting to get interesting. So yeah, I think that it's going to become a little bit more explosive, although probably a little bit scripted, but I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Well,
And then Pops, what are you looking forward to most?
I'm looking forward to Southern Comfort because why are you shaking your head?
Because it's Southern Charm and you're thinking
Oh.
Pops, I left you. I'm on the East Coast. It's only 2 o'clock.
That is so adorable.
Dana,
But
you're
that's
supposed
why
to back
I
me
need to
up.
come to South Africa. It's now, 11 p.m.
It's 5
And
here.
I can't tell the two twins apart. What do you expect? I can't tell Southern Comfort from Southern Charm.
Oh gosh.
I will show you, Bob.
Adam, this is you in a few years.
If I'm anything half of Pops, by the time I'm Pops' age, I will be a happy man. So
No,
I
there's-
won't even live half of the life.
You are sweet, Adam.
What was that?
You are sweet. We adore you.
Oh, Hermione, I'll keep you around. I love you guys, and I know
And he doesn't like Stacy and Darcy or whatever it is.
Okay, you're doing it on purpose at this point. You're doing it. Who's doing it on purpose?
That is okay.
Hermione, I love you. Kim, please call in anytime. Honestly, your accent feels like home, and it was so much fun having you. Lady O, we love you. And Dana, thank you for checking me yesterday, and not checking me like in an aggressive way. That's not what I mean. But like, I said Grace Kelly, and you reminded me that it was Nancy Grace.
Did
So-
Kim leave? Did Kim leave already?
No,
No, I'm here.
Grace Kelly is like Hollywood royalty, and I was like, oh, I wish. But
Oh, I got it wrong. I got it wrong.
Hey,
And-
Kim, thank you for the job you do as a school teacher.
No, that was the other one.
No, that
Oh, I got
that
another
was
one?
RT.
yeah, that was RT.
See, I can't even get that straight.
No, it's okay.
That's
You still
all
think
right.
it's Darcy and Starcy, so that's okay.
Okay.
And as of right now, we know that your head's on Southern Comfort. So listen, Pop,
I
We
could
know
use,
where
I
you're
could
at.
use a Southern Comfort right about
Oh,
now.
it's adorable.
we have 273 in the 274 in the room. If you guys haven't already, hit like. Pops, I love you. Dana,
I enjoyed all of you, and I love you. You're like family. Thank you.
Love you.
Likewise, Pop.
Love you
love
too.
you, Pops.
all right, thanks, guys.
Bye, everyone. Love
Bye,
you.
guys. And then, Pops, just to say goodbye, I just want to say really quick before we go, thank you to everybody for your super chats and donations. I think today was probably the best one that
I
we've had.
know.
The
Thank
most
you.
money. Pops, you said to me before we came on, you said, are we still getting enough callers or do we need to call it quits? And I said, I don't, I actually didn't say this, but I was thinking this in my head. I don't care if we have 5 callers, 2 viewers, 5 viewers. If we're raising 10 cents and we raise 10 cents 10 times a year, then at the end of the year, we'll give $1 back that nobody had. So
Well, see, put it out and see if they want to do this twice a week,
I will.
as
I
long
will.
as it fits in your schedule.
All right. If it pops, I'm open. I don't know where I am anymore. So I'm here.
I love you.
All right. I love you too, Pops. I'll call you right after this.
Give Jason a hug and a kiss for me.
I'll give him a slap across the back of the. Just
There
kidding.
you go.
I'm just kidding. Love you, Jason. He's still watching. All right.
I love you.
Love you too, Pops. I'll call you.
All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.